surgeons keep our hearts beating. They do the amazing, help save lives, and so can you. Your CSL plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines that can give Grandpa the chance for his heart to swell when he meets his new grandson, or give a bride the chance for her heart to skip a beat on her wedding day. Every plasma donation helps more than you know. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate today at your local CSL Plasma Center and be rewarded for your generosity.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Normally, the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. For a good portion of this week, the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker North Studio, which is a 70-year-old trailer. I wish it could give you a grand tour, but it would just... I guess I could on the mobile device, but it's not set up. I mean, not that it would ever really be set up, but there's shit everywhere. So I think the plot thickens when it comes to the rodents that dwell here, though. I've never been able to pinpoint where they're getting in, but I guess it could come from somewhere in the roof area. I mean, there's not like holes all over the place here. It's actually pretty pristine, especially on the inside. Something of this age with a flat roof like this would have long since deteriorated had my father not put on a freestanding roof over it, which is really high pitch. Looks like a fucking structure in a Dr. Seuss book. And it just basically is over it like a fucking portable carport, but it's made out of wood and shingles. That's been able to keep the structure intact. However, over the years, I wouldn't be surprised if just somehow they found out a way to get in. As Chris points out, they don't need much of a hole or a gap to get in. And I've seen mice do this, and I've seen chipmunks, who I think may be a culprit here, as having the ability to defy gravity in their incredible, as quickly and as fast as they are on flat ground, they're just as quick up the side of a fucking building or a damn piece of wood. It's wow, these fucking things. And I actually finished the show yesterday. This show was a little after 10, and I walked outside onto this little deck that I have outside of the door. And I looked to my right, and 7 feet away is a chipmunk on a 4x4 upright, which is part of the freestanding roof. And he's looking right at me. And I'm like, boy, you don't seem skittish at all. And I think it's because I'm in his house. He's like, motherfucker, what are you doing in there? And so then I kind of just look at him, and he scurries up the top. He gets to the roof area, which, I can only see so far up because that freestanding roof is hanging down. You can't get up there. It's impossible. And, holy fuck, he then was on top of the roof and he disappeared. So I don't know, man. That might be the dude who has something to do with the 2 nests I found in here. If I could somehow manage to get up onto the top of the roof, I might be able to pinpoint an entryway. So one of these days, you know how it is. Like, fuck it, I don't know. So normally on a day like today, excuse me, hang on, I'm sorry. Oh, God. Normally on a day like today, we would do Dear Meathead with my beloved 89-year-old father. But cell service here is just so spotty. In order for me to get to have a conversation with anyone, I have to walk out onto the middle of the open property in this small valley here. And then don't move. So in here, it's just weak. And oh God, what is my deal today? The weak cell service is also the Achilles heel of these trackers that I have on the dog, which just don't work. And thank you to Nick V, who he always, every time he reaches out to me, he always has something that he's right on. Like every time, he doesn't say a lot, but when he does, you ever meet somebody like that? They don't say much, but when they do, you better listen. They got something to say. They only talk when it's necessary. When they know they can, help you. Nick's very helpful. He's always been awesome. And smart as a whip, by the way. Nick is one of these guys, Nick V, who I don't think he went to college, but he's one of the smartest people I know. You can just sense it. And, he educated himself in trades. He could fix anything. He's a electrician. What is the term for the greatest electrician on the planet? I know there's like journeyman and master, which both those terms sound like fucking great. I'm a journeyman. That means I can go anywhere and fix anything. I'm a master. I think he's all of those times 10. All right? And he's built his personal worth to a pretty high level, I think. I think Nick's kind of rolling in dough from skilled trades. I always love that, I love it when a person uses their brain to really get far in the world. But I also love it when a guy uses his brain and his wits and his skills with his hands, Excuse me. Did you see that kid who he was really, super smart, and he got offered scholarships to like every college in America? He got like tens of millions of dollars in scholarship offers. That fucker. Brilliant. I think he's going to like Cornell. Can you imagine if you had all those scholarship offers and you ended up going to some loser college like where I went to? Central Michigan. I mean, it's a fine college, but they'll take anybody. If they took me, okay, come on now. Well, anyway, Nick writes this. Eric, I am catching up late on the podcast. I'm guessing that the dog collar that you bought relies on a cellular signal. True. So spotty service will delay updating or not work at all. Now, him saying that is something that I kind of knew, but I don't know. I still thought it was a mystery why it wasn't working. That's because I'm stupid. He says also AirTags rely, like Chris said, on talking to other people's phones and Wi-Fi and will not work in the woods. So, Chris, you are vindicated. What you need, Eric Zane, is the GPS collars that Hilljacks use when they release a pack of hounds to hunt bear and mountain lions. People do this? What the fuck? I would think that if a dog came after a bear or a mountain lion, that the bear would fucking kick its ass. I guess it's a pack. I don't know. The dogs run out a mile or two ahead to corner or tree whatever they are hunting. Well, that sounds horrible. So basically, a bear climbs a tree and is scared to death, and the hunter comes up and shoots it in the fucking face, and it falls to its death. Yeah, good times. Good times. Whatever. As long as it keeps him away from me. They use GPS, but the collar transmits directly to the handheld tracker with radio signals up to 9 miles with some models. Also, you can set a wireless GPS plotted electric fence boundary that will keep the dog from going too far. These systems also work with up to 21 dogs at one time. But you're very specific on your info. It's you that trees the bear, isn't it? If interested, I sent a link to one at Cabela's for more info on that style. I'm no expert on them, but Cabela's you can probably go into and get a better look at them, or if there are other models. This one seems top of the line, but I have read reviews on the cheaper ones that interface with a phone, that those can be buggy. Signed, Nick. All right. I'm sure it's cheap. So what this boils down to is what I spent on the tracker, like for the actual device, and for the subscription is equivalent to getting, three or four hundred $1 bills, setting them in my fire pit over here, and lighting them on fire. I should have fucking known. Damn it. That's annoying. Like I said, no deer meathead today. I called him. I wandered over to the middle of the valley here. And hello. Hey, Dad. Where are you? Yeah, again, every time. Once you get 70 and above, the first question you have for whoever's calling you is, where are you? I think because he's worried. He's always just wants to know that I'm okay. I find it cute. Cute and charming with my sweet, beloved 89-year-old father. Where are you? Well, Dad, I'm up north. You are? What are you doing? I go, I'm raking, and the sun was setting. It was starting to become dusk. He goes, oh my God, it's dark. Get inside. He has an idea for some reason that where I am is like highly suspect and dangerous. Like I'm in the middle of the hood or some shit. And I go, well, I'm actually just finishing up, so I am going to go inside, but it's fine, Dad. No big deal. You are alone? Where is your honey? Well, I came alone. I just brought a couple of dogs, and I had to get some work done. I'm preparing for all of everyone's arrival when they get here in a few weeks. And we've had this entire conversation last week at this time. I can honestly say that I think his short-term memory is erasing like minutes now. Like if I started, as I started that conversation with him, and by the end of that conversation, we had that conversation again. And you never ever say, yeah, I just mentioned that. Because then he's like, oh, he realizes he's busted. You don't want that because then he feels bad. And that's the last thing you want to do is make this patient, this dementia patient, feel bad. So I go, yeah, Dad, it's going to be great. I got everything all set. I brought my podcasting equipment. He goes, oh, you're working. I go, yeah, I do like I normally do on any given day back home. And then instead of the usual stuff I do and the rest of the day back home, I'm getting things ready for you guys. Why? I go, well, you're coming to visit in a couple of weeks. So I explained to him, but it's all good. I'm looking forward to seeing him. So, all right. You need to know that today, I should say for tomorrow, Thursday's show, I am going to post an edition of Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show Podcast. And I'm going to try to go with some golden oldies that haven't been heard in a while for this show. I think I need to bust out, because I don't always save everything. It's sometimes difficult for me to pinpoint what happened when. But I think it would be a good idea to bust out the old Z-Speed mobile mechanic segment which will make everyone happy except one of you. Just a little bit of background on that. Our beloved pal Kenny in Nashville, Tennessee. This was back, well, this is all Kyler. Audience member Kyler and pal Kyler. He tipped me off on some weekend that Kenny was having a Facebook meltdown. And I go, really? I hadn't seen. And he, Kenny writes, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And I go, "Well, what's going on?" He goes, "Oh, man, he hired some guy to fix his car and things didn't work out. And now he is just laying waste. And so he had hired a mobile mechanic. The guy would drive to your place and fix your car. On the day that he's supposed to arrive, he sends Kenny a message saying, I didn't realize you were this far away." So basically, he's looking at a margin issue for the amount of travel, the time, the expense to get where Kenny was. It doesn't factor into his business plan. So the guy canceled the order. And this unleashed the fury. This unleashed the Kraken. And he spun out. And then that's all I needed to see. Now, I do not have access to see these types of meltdowns anymore because he does not allow me to see his Facebook. And then, see, right now he's writing, "No, already wrong." Well, I mean, this is a long time. This is a long time has passed. So I don't remember all the details because he says right now, "I had to contact him because he wasn't showing up." Look, let's not quibble about the details here. Let's just focus on the entertainment value. Because the weekend for our pal Kenny comes and goes. And Adam says, he unfriended you? Oh, yeah, he won't let me. We're still friends, but he won't let me look at his Facebook anymore. We're friends like in real time, but we're not friends like on Facebook. He doesn't want me seeing anything that he says personally because he's afraid that I'll bust out the details here. And I can't blame him. I cannot blame him for that. And I don't hold any ill will. So anytime, so that's in a nutshell what's going on there. But Kenny's trying to explain himself right now to people who are taking the bait. I'll explain it. It's okay. You guys just enjoy the show. It's you don't need to be having sidebar discussions. Essentially, I'm right. All right. Well, let's not get bogged down in the details here. The fact of the matter is, he writes, because Eric would see posts and then pull them out of his ass on the show just to make fun of me. Asshole. Well, don't get all riled up. Don't. See, Adam, you did that on purpose. God damn it. We don't want him upset. I want everybody to have a good day. We don't need to rip the scab off old wounds here. It's cool. It's fine. Jesus, you dick. Not Kenny's not the dick. It's Adam. Guilty as charged. Anyway. So Saturday finishes, Sunday comes and goes, and then Monday happens. And then about an hour into the show, somehow the saga of Kenny with this mechanic popped into my head. Now, he's right. I had probably 1% of the facts. But in the spirit of comedy, that does not matter. All you have to do is grab the person. Well, in Kenny's case, 4 people have to grab Kenny and throw him out in front of an oncoming vehicle that transports lots of people at once called a bus. Bus hits Kenny, and he's now under said bus over his behavior with this mechanic. This turned into a long-running thread and drama, complete with the point of Kenny announcing to the world that he is, I think he gave the guy a 1-star review. And then he screenshotted the 1-star review and posted it to Facebook so that we all could see. And that kind of opened up the door for a long history of Kenny with 1-star review. So if you ever hear me go, oh, man, I'm pissed, hand hovering over the mouse, getting ready to fire off 1 star. Oh! All right. So it all builds to the legend that is Mr. Hinson, Kenny. There are so many layers to that cat that are, lend to an outrageously exaggerated and drama-filled character that I honestly don't think he cares for it that much. But anyway, that will be part of tomorrow's Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now, on Patreon, I also posted for Thursday what amounts to about 3 hours and 20 minutes of content. And you're going to like this. I have something that I can't really go into what it is, but you will know it when you hear it. All right? You see, I don't want you without any content. Tyler says, is what you're posting the length of a radio show? Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. And you see how that works? I know that I'm going to be traveling Thursday. So what I did was I worked ahead a couple of days, and all by my lonesome, I am going to whip up even more content than I would on a day that I'm actually podcasting. There's this neat feature on every platform that exists called scheduling. And it took me about 5 minutes. Here I am, poverty internet, in the middle of nowhere, where I don't even have a cell signal. And I sat right here and did all of that all by myself. Josh writes, but Eric, how do you post content when you're not around without 4 other people? Patrick writes, that's brilliant. Amanda says, I wish I had your work ethic. I think you do. You just got to, polish it off a little. Young Adam Schwab says, what a concept. I know. Isn't that strange? Tyler says, this must have taken you hours to prepare this content for paying subscribers. That's the thing. I am so deathly afraid of getting lazy that I'm always like, over-deliver. Don't stop over-delivering. You know? I feel bad when I don't put out a Facebook post. All these alarms start going off in my head. It's called complacency alarms. It's like, dude, these are your fans. These are people who actually go out of their way to find you on a podcast and give you a fucking couple of scraps to hear what you have to say. Do not fuck this up. Do not take that for granted, for God's sake. Ever. Ever. Sea Bear 495 says, what happened to the bunker? Sorry, I haven't been here in a while. No, I'm up north right now. I am not at my usual spot. I am in my trailer in the middle of nowhere. Thank you, Amanda. She just cheered times 100. I don't know what that means. I think that's $1 or something like that. Is that right? I don't know. I appreciate that. What was I going to talk about? Okay, so the way this unfolds is I came up here to paint, you know. I want the interior of this old trailer to be, like, perfect. And it's, you know, I haven't even opened a paint can since I got here. And but that's okay. I mean, I realized when I got here that at the end of when fall hit, however many months ago, I never came up here and raked these fucking leaves. And if you don't rake, it's a nightmare. All right, it kills all the grass. I mean, imagine you're in a forest with one little patch of no trees. The amount of leaves that are it's a fucking deep carpeting of leaves that has just finished a week and a half ago having 2 feet of snow on it. So they're all impacted and wet and stupid. Oh, God. So I abandoned ship on all painting, and now it's just rake. And I have to actually stop. I mean, it would take me another. Well, I've been doing it for 2 days straight, and I've raked about the amount of space as a football field. And what you do is you make a big fucking pile of leaves, and you put a tarp down, and then you rake all the leaves onto the tarp, and you drag the tarp out into the fucking forest. You get rid of the leaves, you come back, and you do that for a whole day. The thing now is, though, that I'm about a third done. That's how much of space that I have to do, and it's all by my fucking self, of course. Wouldn't have it any other way. So now I got to put the brakes on that, because once I get done with this show, okay, I have to get this place that I'm in ready for my dad, which means I got to put screens in windows, and this deck that I was telling you about that I was standing on, the squirrel looking at me like I was an asshole. It has an amount of bird shit on it that is like a pile of guano, and it's so disgusting. I need to clean that because I can't have someone walking up here. You see, there's all sorts of bird nests underneath this fucking freestanding roof. Oh. Kenny makes a point that has been told that I have been told by loved ones. Is that what your dad used to do? You're slowly becoming your dad, aren't you? Oh my God. You are not kidding. Everybody tells me that. Tyler says, don't forget to schedule some time for morel hunting, which I did yesterday. I walked around the tree line. I talked to Nate, audience member Nate, who actually called me. I wandered to the middle of this valley to talk to him. He goes, dude, we've found them here in Kentucky just a little bit outside of the tree line. You're going to want to look, and typically they pop up in sunny spots. I have got to find some of these. I doubt I will, though. I don't know if I have the right type of trees that they're found under, you know. raking leaves, killing dandelions, shoveling snow, having incidents with chainsaws and ladders, all things that my dad. You're right. Of his 3 actual sons, which would be Norman, Jim, and Eric in that order. I am easily the most like him. Now, there's also Push-Up Paul and Regular Mike, which we share a mom, but my dad adopted them. But it's all weird. It's completely weird. Okay. So that's what's happening. Get done with the show today. Again, more arts and crafts, boring shit to do to get ready for traveling. Head back home. And then Thursday night, you know what the fuck is going down? Ben and Eric. The Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Now listen to me. If you are new, all right, I am going to send you a Zoom link to be part of the audience. We have a number of regulars who show up, but don't let that make you shy, okay? We have a great time. It's a different vibe. You know, when you're used to doing, or when you're used to seeing a solo show monologue for 2 hours, now suddenly there's people involved. Now, that makes my work a lot less involved, and it's great because it's the heavy lifting part is gone. When I've got someone as awesome as Ben is to be part of it. And a lot of folks think that is their favorite thing that happens on the Patreon. Linda indicates that Ben and Eric alone is worth the cost of the Patreon. Thank you. You're very kind. But just before that, Ben and I are going to record the Who Are These Zanes, which we'll take that audio and make it available on Saturday for everybody. So lots of busy work, lots of things to do. That's how we do it. So, I'll just throw in a plug for Patreon. And by the way, thank you to E-Rock for signing up yesterday. Again, I always sit up a little higher. Thank you, buddy, for signing up on Patreon. And if you've ever been on there, I thank you very much. If you've been on in the past or thinking about doing it again or just thinking about signing up for the first time, that is the first revenue stream. The first thing that made me think I could be an independent show. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Okay. For you folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, it is time to kick you out. All right? And it's too bad because you're going to miss the story about Robert Deniro. Oh, God, is this hideous. Fuck. So what you do if you want the show uninterrupted, because there's, another hour and 24 minutes of show. If you want it live every day, we'll do it live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Or download the Twitch app and then search Eric Zane Live, all one word. There I am. Follow the page. If you want to get the show minus commercials on the video live stream, because Amazon throws them in on Twitch, because that's who owns Twitch, you'll have to link your Amazon Prime account if you have one. And then once you do that, you subscribe. When you subscribe, no commercials. You miss any of this or don't know what the fuck you're doing because you don't like reading, reach out to me, Eric at EricZaneShow.com, and then I will pass you off to Kenny, who will then tell you how to do this. All right. So thank you. By the way, one more thing, people who I'm kicking out. The audio podcast is available wherever you download shows. As soon as I get done with this, it takes me a few minutes, and then I post it in a timely fashion, usually up by 10:30 a.m., the latest audio podcast. Eric Zane Show Podcast, wherever you download shows. Please subscribe to the audio podcast, whether you listen to it or not. Thank you. And rate and review it if you have that option. If you ever want to say hello, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Okay, goodbye. Twitch and Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Aram says, when is Jimmy going to roll out his third film short for an Eric Zane Show podcast review? Savage Sack Lunch says, Twitch is awesome. There's a ton of content to discover. Oh, yeah, if that's your thing. I have difficulty consuming online content because, honestly, I'm just too busy. The only time I ever listen to anything else is like when I'm raking a pasture or driving for a long period of time. Patrick and Aram have tag teamed to become the biggest promoters of the Eric Zane Show podcast on the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show subreddit. And this is important because you have people there who know exactly who I am. And the more people that know about your old pal EZ, that means the more people that are willing to try the show. A lot of people just don't know that I exist, and they don't know that I've done almost 1,060 podcasts since getting out of radio. So just the other day, there was a number of people complaining because for some reason their subscriptions got canceled randomly of my old show. Like they all subscribed and listened to the content, as stale as it is. But for some reason, dozens of people were just kicked out, even though they'd already paid for the product that they signed up for, which is so fucking weird. Patrick weighs in, and he oftentimes mentions me. And what I'm getting now when he does that is there seems to be a lot of people who used to hate on me, they're just quiet now. I don't see any hate on me. I don't know what the fuck is happening. But Patrick writes, I had to go to the website and cancel my idiot account. It would have been great if they automatically canceled mine. He had gotten very frustrated with the quality of the show. Then he tried out mine, and now he's bullish on what I do, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for that. He says, I'm listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast now. The 2-hour podcast is free, so there is no need to cancel. He does have a Patreon, though, that gives you like 8 or 9 bonus shows. Actually 11, but that's okay. I highly recommend it. The content and stories are far better than what you get with FBHW. Thank you for that. This person, who's not really sure about me, writes, is he still doing the show by himself? I find him entertaining and all, but solo podcasts just don't do it for me. Seems awkward and forced. Even someone crazy entertaining like Bill Burr. I get that. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the level of interaction that we can have here. Aram writes, if someone in the audience insults him, like Free Beer and Hot Wings used to, he will read it and interact with it. So it actually has a similar feel like the old show. Patrick says, yes, he does do the free podcast by himself, but there is a lot of interaction with the audience. I appreciate that. That discussion makes people curious. And if 10 show up and I win over 2, that's how you build an audience. I've also had because Aram points out Zane's subreddit is hot right now. Hot for my subreddit. I think in the past week, I've gained 5 people on it. That is scorching for me. Where people talk about the show or whatever they want to talk about. As members of the show, show audience, you have that in common. you go to reddit.com/r/The Eric Zane Show. Or just look for The Eric Zane Show, all one word, subreddit. You will find it. And follow that and have at it. Thank you. I can't tell you when I see people who get what I'm trying to do when they actually discover it, or they like when someone new signs up or whatever, how satisfying that is for a low-level ham and egger like your old pal EZ. I honestly feel that if I just keep doing what I'm doing, and basically every day is another practice in a continuing effort to try to get more and more skilled at this, and storytelling and talking monologue style for extended periods of time, that people will eventually find it. It might take 10 years, but if enough people find it and then have an attitude of, I got to tell other people about it, you're going to get more and more people trying it. And then that's how you win. You just, the only thing I can control really is what I put out. There is nothing more that I can do. I can't force anybody's hand. I can't beg. Well, in a way, I can beg a little. But at the end of the day, all I can do is try to be interesting, to try to get someone's attention for an extended period of time, and I hope that works for you. I appreciate it. Kyler is here. Holy shit. How are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see that you're here. All right. The open and live stream of this show brought to you by Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Oh, my God. Featuring show audience member Kent. Drop the E, add a U. Love him and the crew over there. He actually works with a guy named Aram. Isn't that incredible? We got a guy in the audience named Aram and a guy that works with Kent named Aram. I mean, seriously, I didn't realize in Lily White, Michigan, I could have, the fact that I have a guy who is bullish on the show, Aram, and then a guy that works with Kent, Aram, and they're both Armenian. Fuck yes. Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Watch, he's going to reach out to me and say, yeah, we fired Aram 6 months ago, or he's dead. If you need any type of flooring, and you're in West Michigan, the lowest price anywhere. I mean, like if you flew in from California, you'd still get the lowest price flooring, but it wouldn't be worth your money and time because of the travel. If you're in West Michigan, there is a bastion of low price flooring, and it is the best brands. Every time I've had my flooring redone in the house, which is 4 rooms, dining room, kitchen, bedroom, and an entire basement, I've purchased the flooring from Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Now, I don't install it. I would have Jacob Bennett do it. But that's what you do. You go there and you check out the designs, and you're going, hey, this is dirt cheap. You buy that, and it's a top-notch brand, Shaw, Mohawk, of all different types of flooring. Could be carpeting, different types of carpeting. Could be hardwood, ceramic, vinyl plank, laminate, tile square, whatever. Then you mention my name, and you take an additional 10% off. That's how they do it at Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Now, where they are, if you're in West Michigan, Chicago Drive. You know, there's that little fake downtown Granville area. Well, just to the east of that is a little Caesars. Behind that, there's an ugly tan building with a little red sign that says Johnson facing the road. That's where you go. March in there. Say, Eric Zane sent me. Right away, you're saving 10% on the already low price. Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Go there, mention my name. God bless Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. That is where you go to get your vehicles repaired. Irvines.com, ERVines, Irvines.com. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup. Loaner cars available when you schedule, and they'll fix anything on the car. 616-532-6600. I've had this happen where my old 20-year-old truck craps out. Tow truck comes, and I go take it to Irvine's. They take it there, drop the keys in the drop box. I call. Those are my keys. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. They fix it. 616-532-6600. Thank you. God bless the Kent County Health Department. This is going to sound weird, but one of the things they talk about on their website, accesskent.com/health, is personal health services. Okay, so personal being, sexually transmitted disease test. They can they can tell you if you have an STD. Feeling drippy? I'm kidding. Including HIV. You're like, oh my God, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, some of you go out and you have lots of sex with a lot of people. Good for you. You should. However, if you're not careful, you could be exposing yourself to terrible things. Probably the worst of those is HIV, which will kill you. We do live in a day and an age, though, where if you are diagnosed with HIV, first of all, you should do, if you are into reckless behavior like I just described, you should absolutely have this done once in a while. Because the quicker you are diagnosed with this horrible thing, the quicker you can get on a medicine regimen that can lower the amount of HIV in your system so you can have a normal, productive life and not, die of AIDS. So do consider that. 616-532-6600. You random sex people, and I don't know any of you who would do that. It's not like you're walking around or you show up on the chat here and say, oh, man, I got plowed by 4 dudes yesterday. I mean, if you have a monogamous relationship, I think you can sidestep the HIV test. Like, I'm not going to go get one unless if someone sends me a picture of Diana getting jackhammered by 3 black guys. Then I may. I'm probably going to regret that joke at some point. Thank you, Kent County Health Department. Which I got a feeling that my sponsorship with them is in peril, or their sponsorship with me is in peril. Because there's like a new cook in the stew. Well, I don't think it's sold on your old pal EZ. I think the words that were said were, do we really want to sidle up next to that? And the guy who I'd originally dealt with told me that. And I go, do I need to have a conversation with this person? He goes, I think you're gonna. And I'm like, good. Which, by the way, side note, Aram quit. He quit in December. Thank you, Kent. He's no longer at... Why did he quit? What the fuck? Not Aram in Nashville. Aram, the carpet guy, the flooring guy, is no longer there. I will ban that from my brain. All right. Ryan says, Big Fraud Zane appears to be suggesting only black people could give his wife AIDS. Shut up. It's a joke. Where was I? Oh, yes. Do we really want to? And I said, well, I'm going to have the talk with this guy. You see, too many people think that this is like radio. That if I say something that is like, huh? Like my wife getting plowed by black guys. Now, if I were talking about my wife getting plowed by black guys on the radio, and then I said, hey, at Kent County, I think that they would have a leg to stand on. Because on the radio, anybody can be listening. It's mixed company. On a podcast, it's not nearly as mixed because the people who are listening are not mixed company. They all have sought me out and you have to actually make an effort to listen. You can't just flip it on in the car and all of a sudden you hear somebody talking about wife getting plowed by black guys because you accidentally stumbled upon it. You know what I mean? And so we're all in on the joke is my point. So when I do that on a podcast, the concern about, someone might get offended is nil because it's a fucking podcast. So and the fact of the matter is, as much as you talk about, it's the podcast and, I don't want to be offended. Okay, it's still 70 to 100,000 people each week that listen to the audio podcast. All right? That number is not negotiable. It's there. And they're hearing me talk about you helping the public for a pittance that you're paying for it. If you got that type of exposure on the radio, do you know how much you'd be paying? You'd be paying out of your ass. Well, anyway, I'm going to take a break in a second and go tinkle. But before I do, we have with us the multi-talented Tim K., who is the father of Zeke, who I mentioned in the show earlier. Earlier in the week, I should say. Zeke is struggling right now. And I talked with Tim yesterday via text. And he got me up to speed about what has happened to him. And Tim, if you could type, can I share the background of what you shared with me, buddy? Because the more people that are thinking and praying for Zeke and all of you, I think that it would be something that you would love. You know, maybe I'm the last one to know. I mean, sometimes I am. Maybe everybody here is already in on what has happened, but I will hold that type of discussion. There it is. He says, yes, please share. I have really bad reception here. Oh, no problem, buddy. So, as you know, Zeke requires, maybe you don't know, nonstop care because of the challenges that he faces from being abused as a baby. And he was taken from the abuser, his birth parents, and entered the foster system a long time ago. And Tim and his wife were the ones that took him in. They eventually adopted him, and that is their son. All sorts of challenges. And they are the right people for the job. They've been fostering children for a long time as a couple. And this has been, you talk about kidney donation. To me, what Tim and his wife do, can you please refresh my memory about what your lovely wife's name is? I don't want to keep referring to her as your wife, but you know how I am with names, and I apologize. And I don't ever see her on here, so I mess that up all the time. They have donated their lives. Their lives for this child and any of the other people that they foster. But this is now their son. Chris is his wife. And so the amount of time and energy that they've put into have a enriched life is just incredible. I mean, that is quite a thing. And they wouldn't have it any other way. But, sometimes it gets hard. So the little guy, I guess, had vomited, and it went back into his lungs. Like, I think they call that an aspiration. So we all know that that's not supposed to go there. And eventually, when they woke up, they noticed that, oh my God, an alarm is going off to indicate something is wrong. And his this had caused what I just described, his oxygen level, his blood oxygen level, after aspiratory pneumonia, which is what it is being described as officially on little guy, had lowered his oxygen level to 10%. Now, if it's anything below 90, the doc, you got to go to the hospital. So that's like near death. He's lucky to be alive at that point. Chris starts doing like rescue breathing on him. Tim gets a call of what has happened at work. 911, you got to go home. Holy shit, ambulance is on the way, fucking the whole deal. And somehow they have him on some intense lung therapy right now that not only is forcing oxygen in, but forcing CO2 out, hoping to lift any type of troublesome material that is in his airway out of his lung system. So this is fucking touch and go. Today, he says he is doing better, but still struggling to breathe. So this might be a long time. He is at the notoriously amazing, I shouldn't say notorious, the amazingly famous Helen DeVos Children's Hospital, where he is in very good hands. And our thoughts and prayers are with you, taking the time to actually discuss it. I'm just thinking about you, buddy. I was thinking about you for a good part of the day. Well, for all of the day after we spoke via text, and everybody's pulling for you and Chris and your family and Zeke, of course. So hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. You guys have worked tirelessly to give him a wonderful life. And so, God willing, that will continue. Okay. With that, I have to go tinkle. 3 cups of coffee, but I can't clear my head of what went down last night. Lou Graham. Blue morning, blue day, can't you see things my way? Into the midnight blue, oh, standing in the rain with his head hung low. Couldn't get a ticket. It was a sold-out show. Heard the roar of the crowd. He could picture the scene. Put his head to the wall. And like an instant scream, dream, he held one guitar. Just blew him away. Saw stars in his eyes. And the very next day, bought a beat-up 6th Street in a second-hand store. Didn't know how to play it. Called his mama whore. Chris asks, I wonder if Trump will call soon after the big verdict yesterday. Probably not going to work. My cell service is spotty. Barely been following that story. But a jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation in the E. Jean Carroll case. Trump said he will appeal. This happened, the jury agrees, in a luxury department store dressing room in the spring of 1996. Trump says didn't happen. Initially, she said she was raped. That was not agreed upon by the jury, but they did say he sexually abused her. So, can you sexually abuse someone and not rape them? I mean, I don't know the specifics of that. or how that can even work. Got a clip here. See if I can pull this up. This is Trump's attorney. Audio check, video check.
Rape claim. It was a rape case all along, and the jury rejected that, but made it this was a rape claim. It was a rape case all along, and the jury rejected that, but made other findings. So we'll obviously be appealing those other findings, but they rejected her rape claim, and she'd always claimed this was a rape case. So it's a little perplexing, but we move forward.
Did you speak to Mr. Trump, and what did he tell you?
We've spoken, and we're ready to, proceed, go forward. Obviously, he's firm in his belief, as many people are, that he cannot get a fair trial in New York City based on the jury pool. And I think one could argue that that's probably an accurate assessment based on what happened today. Again, it's something that, we're very confident on the appellate issues here. The Access Hollywood tape should not have come into this case. Some other things shouldn't come into the case. I mean, we made many motions that we thought would create issues for appeal, and we're going to employ them now.
I wonder how nervous this guy is because he lost. All right? He failed in his job, and he seems incredibly confident after losing.
What did you say to Evie when you shook her hand?
Oh, no, listen, what I said to her is between Miss Carol and I, but...
The woman who accused, he apparently said something to her, and the reporter wanted to know what.
I don't make it personal with people, and we had a pretty good experience as far as the parties in this case, considering, what we went through. This was not an easy case.
Okay, so he doesn't seem like an asshole. This guy seems like a straight shooter.
What more could he say other than I didn't do it? And he said that under oath here. It's hard to prove a negative. Molly, I could say you stole my pen, prove you didn't do it. How would you prove it?
Mr. Tacopina also brought up several times in just a short address there that this was a rape trial. He'd been accused of rape, but the jury did not find Trump liable for rape. They found him liable for sexual abuse. Not to be too graphic, but I guess what she accuses him of is digitally penetrating her.
God.
Without her consent. How's
that not rape? I mean, penis versus, or finger versus penis.
Don't know if technically the details here, but is it relevant that he wasn't found guilty or liable for rape?
I'm sure it's relevant in his
Wasn't there a bit on South Park where they sang some finger bang song?
ability to say in front of the reporters just now that Donald Trump was not found to be a quote unquote rapist. But I found a couple things.
No, he's a finger banger.
Number one, he said it's difficult to prove a negative. And if you compared this case to, say, I stole your pen, how would I prove that? Just so we're all clear in this country and beyond, a sexual assault, very distinct from stealing one's pen. But the law in New York, of course, means two different things. There's sexual contact, which is under sexual abuse, meaning your person has had contact with somebody's genitalia or other private areas, and often includes the anus as well, and that it was without consent. Now, rape and sexual assault in a different context often means penetration without one's consent.
So that means that the camp counselor had sexual contact with me. Notice she didn't say I was sexually assaulted. I just had, it was some man when I was 10 made sexual contact with me.
By force or some kind of implied threat or beyond. So a finding of sexual contact is still a non-consensual offensive touching. That's where you have the battery part come in. A non-consensual offensive touching of one's intimate genitalia. I don't know if you want to split hairs, so to speak, on these two issues. They both are particularly problematic.
But when she accuses him...
Yeah, so I like how that reporter or that lawyer's like, oh, it wasn't, well, no rape. No rape. Yeah, but they did say he stuck his fingers inside of her. So probably at some point during the testimony in cross-examination, it was revealed that she probably said herself, no, it wasn't his penis. It was his fingers. Okay. And So I guess to the letter of the law, that can't be rape, Tyler says sexual abuse. He tried to pick her up like a bowling ball. Referring to me, Linda says you were a minor, though. Oh, that might have had something to do with it. I don't know why I'm defending the guy who touched my penis. Ryan says, I imagine his fingers are well lubricated with McCheeseburger grease. Ick. Yeah, ick is right.
Of rape. And
hold on, let me
again,
back that up.
I don't know the details about
genitalia. I don't know if you want to split hairs, so to speak, on these two issues. They both are particularly problematic.
But when she accuses him of rape, and again, I don't know the details about how this works in civil court. Is digital rape considered rape in New York law?
It's considered contact, sexual contact. It could be by penetration. In fact, if you look at the actual statute, I looked up to make sure that we were all on the same page. Part of
this guy wants to say finger bang so badly. Wouldn't it be something if we were at a state and society where he didn't have to dance around it and he said, finger banged?
Sexual intercourse, as it's defined under New York law, includes meaning any penetration, however slight, of the penis into the vaginal opening. So if this is a digital penetration under sexual contact, it could be by penetration. In fact, if you look at the actual statute, I looked up to make sure that we were all on the same page. Part of sexual intercourse, as it's defined under New York law, includes meaning any penetration, however slight, of the penis into the vaginal opening. So if this is a digital penetration, meaning one's fingers or one's hands in some form or fashion, then it could be viewed as distinct and ought to be under the actual reading of the law. But remember, this case, and we were very quick and close and clear to say this on CNN because it's the most important thing to remember. It is a battery and defamation suit. Battery defined as the offensive touching. So under that umbrella can include, which is why the jury had all those different categories to look at how one defines offensive touching to include sexual contact, penetration, digitally, or penile.
Okay, so he raped her. He raped her with his fingers. That's what the jury said. That's fucking horrible. And so his lawyer will just focus on not rape, not rape, not rape. It was sexual abuse with his fingers. Trump maintained his claim he does not know who Carol is and called the trial very unfair. I can't do a Trump. Carol was awarded $5 million for all of this, described as a significant defeat for the former president. Trump said, quote, somehow we're going to have to fight this stuff, Trump said. We cannot let our country go into this abyss. This is disgraceful. Carol had filed that lawsuit last November under the New York State Adult Survivors Act, a state bill which opened a look-back window for sexual assault allegations like Carol's with long expired statutes of limitation. It was not a criminal trial, it's a civil trial. In a civil trial like Carol's, the jury had to determine whether Carol's legal team proved that Trump committed battery against Carol by a preponderance of the evidence. I'll have to get in and read more of this, but I don't want to pick it apart as I'm doing the show. But I mean, to be able to convince a jury with, I'm guessing, little more than just her testimony. I mean, this is a 1996 we're talking about here. I can only imagine that it would be her testimony and then people that she talked to over the years about what happened. And then that's it. I mean, I can't imagine what else more you could use as evidence in this case. Holy shit. They're talking about penis penetration, however slight as it may be. Tyler said, a.k.a. just the tip. Ryan says, I don't know why I find it humorous when news people talk about penises and vaginas. Linda says, this is surprising. Her vag, this is from Linda, probably had a spray tan from his orange fingers afterward. Are you suggesting that her labia was orange from getting slammed by his fingers? She was allowed witnesses, Chris writes, that claimed he did the same thing to them. My God. Will this do anything for the president, for a former president? Negatively? I don't think so. I don't think at all that this will do anything. All right. Tipped you off as to what I'm doing here.
Dad?
Huh? Yeah?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that I don't think you're a joke. I mean, whatever you used to be, you're just my dad. And you're the best dad I've ever had.
Come here, Stanley. Stan, it was wrong of me to try and stop you from joining a boy band without explaining why. I made some mistakes in my life, and now I have to let you make your own mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, I think I was even jealous of you being in a boy band. Isn't that stupid?
Not really. Not any more stupid than some of the other stuff you've done.
Well, come on. I'll drive you down to the mall.
Really?
Yeah, I want to see what you guys can do. And then we'll go buy you a small toy so that you can forget all about this.
All right.
What's happening here?
I don't know. I guess nothing.
Well, let's just walk away then.
God damn it, people are walking away!
All right, kids, that does it. You're gonna have to move and make way for the sausage and cheese cart.
Just another minute.
Sorry. Get out.
Oh.
Well, God, I guess you got me again, didn't you? Yeah?
Like how he's dressed like Elvis.
Hope it made you laugh, you sick bastard. What's that? It's Stan! Oh, thank you, God. Oh, praise his name. Dude, where the hell have you been? Sir, we're all here now. Can we go on, please?
Who? Well, okay, I guess. But hurry up.
We will. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness the next great boy band of the country. Someday you will all be among those who can say, I saw Finger Bang when they first performed at some crappy little mall. And so, without further ado, all 5 members of the... Oh my God, they killed Kenny! You bastards! No, he can't be dead. Dude, he's pretty dead. No, we were so close!
All right, that's it, kids. Get out.
But we have to perform. We don't have a 5th member, Cartman. Oh, yes, we do. Thank you all for your patience, and now get ready for Finger Bang!
Finger bang! Bang, bang! Finger bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang!
I'm gonna finger bang, bang you into my life. Girl, you like to finger bang, and it's alright. Cause I'm the king of finger bang, let's not fight. I'll just finger bang, bang you every night. I'll just finger bang, bang you every night. Ja! Yes, yes, thank you, yes.
If you told 12-year-old Eric that on TV we could watch this, I think about where we've come in terms of what we are able to watch. To us, Three's Company was, pushing all the boundaries of sexuality. My God, that was so risque for us. Now you can turn on TV and see a bunch of fucking cartoon characters singing the Finger Bang song. It's always fantastic. Josh says, right, you can say that, but Janet Jackson's titty ruined radio. Well, it definitely caused issues. I'll never forget that. The pep talk from the program director a day after the Janet Jackson incident. He comes in, he goes, FCC's on the warpath. No more poo-poo caca. What? Yeah, you can't even, you can't say anything. You got to be talking about puppies and bunny rabbits. All right, hang on a second. If we're going to do a job that we're on the radio every day, and you're threatening us with our livelihood by giving us this stern warning, we're going to need some parameters. What do you want? I mean, let us know going in. Perhaps something we can work with, and then we can just keep it on those boundaries, and we'll all police ourselves. What are we going to do? What can we not say on the radio? I'm not kidding you. The response was, we'll know it when we hear it. Well, wait a minute. That puts us back in the same boat. You'll know it when we hear it? That's not anything. Sorry, I got to stretch. You know how I like to stretch. I'm going to finger bang bang you into my life. Chris, who's old, says they had to pretend Jack Tripper was gay so he could live with two girls. Super edgy. Kenny says you absolutely cannot make fun of pants on the radio. They knew it when they heard it. Yeah, of all the things to get fired for back in the day, of all the things that people have been fired for back in the day, I got the Ziggy for the pants crack. How not sexy is that? What'd you get fired for? Did you call somebody the N-word? No. You said you hate transgender people. No. What the fuck? Yeah, I made fun of this dude's pants. Tyler says Trump should play the finger bang song the next time he's introduced at a rally. Kenny writes, I got fired for wearing a hoodie once. That's it. If I'm gone, 1-star review. Sorry. Stupid. Okay. If you'd like an Eric Zane Show Podcast t-shirt, they're so easy to get. Just go to ericzaneshow.com, click on merch, and off you go. If you want to hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. They're $20, dirt cheap, and they are the best. No one does a better Cameo than EZ. No one does a better job ad-libbing and riffing with just a few lines of text to try to roast someone. And it doesn't have to be like me being a dick. If you've got someone who, just needs some congratulations for something important, maybe it's a birthday for a young person, I can do all that. There's a whole slew of young people that like your old pal EZ because of his work at the hockey arena. And they don't know about the side that tells everybody to fuck off. What do you do for a living? I tell everyone to fuck off. Speaking of which, do you remember I was telling you the story about the radio station that was had reached out to me and said, hey, you interested in doing mornings? And I said, yes. Two things. I would need to do it from home, and no complaints that I'm talking poo-poo caca on a podcast. Great, no problem. They kind of cooled on the idea of doing it from home, but it wasn't a lost, it wasn't a non-starter. Prefer to have someone there, but possibly can work on it. And then I heard nothing. It just stopped. I was supposed to have a high-level meeting with, like, the big wig the end of April. I heard nothing. Well, I have heard something. Everything is on hold. I was informed, hey, here's an update. We're on hold. Everything I said is on hold. We have to do an equipment upgrade for the radio station. And that project needs to get done first. I am thinking in the fall as a possibility for a show. I'll keep you updated. I thought that was nice. All right. I don't get the idea of why you're doing an equipment upgrade. You can't have a meeting with me, which is where we were. I was waiting on the big wig to say, yeah, hey, I'll be in town on this date. Have Eric meet us at the burger joint and we'll have a coffee and lunch or something like that. That's where we were on this. Now, outside of the cost of gas or a plane ticket, and the guy's coming in anyway, why not just take the meeting? Why not just get to know me? And then you can get or can you only do one thing at a time? Most businesses, it's okay to have the eggs on and the hash browns at the same time. You can do two things at once. No. Co-host with Puddin', daily fights would put ratings through the roof. I wrote back. I said, no problem at all, buddy. Take your time. And then that was it. So I'll probably never hear from these people. Bill is 100% convinced that they've heard more specifics on my podcast. And we cannot run the risk of this guy, playing Belinda Carlisle. And then, they hear him telling people to go fuck themselves. Eric writes, Eric C., if you really want to know where your dog is located, you need to get a Garmin tracking collar. You're going to pay for it. Mine is accurate up to 9 miles. You don't need cell service. I've been running beagles for years on rabbits. You can see exactly what they are doing at all times. Train them to come to you with the beep. And if they don't come, you give them a little zap. You can do a very mild zap. It also works great for breaking the dog from chasing deer. All right. Now, I know me. How much time is involved in training the dog to do that? Is it like you do it once and they know? Can you walk me through this training thing that you're speaking of? When you say train them to come to you with the beep, how? Can you tell me step by step how that works? I will respond later. Thank you, Eric. All right. Where was I? Sarah Honda Granville, when you want to buy a car. SERRA HondaGranville.com is where you go. A brand new Honda vehicle is so sweet. There's dozens to choose from in their line of brand new cars that are out today. SERRA HondaGranville.com. Test drive one and mention your old pal EZ. The way new car buying is these days, you test drive it, you figure out what you want on it, you sign on the dotted line. 10 days later, your car shows up on the hauler. They prep it. They put gas in it. They clean it up beautifully, and then off you go. That's at any dealership in America. including Sarah Honda Granville, Michigan's #1 Honda volume dealer. They also have on the lot Michigan's largest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. If you're not into the new cars, you want to buy a certified pre-owned car. These are like new, still under warranty. Go there, take one home today. SERRA, HondaGranville.com. They're on Kanawha, just north of 44th Street in Granville. I got a mortgage guy. Now, it doesn't matter where you are in the audience, that is in the United States, unless you're in South Carolina, Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. The nation's #1 mortgage person, Mario Flores, has assembled an incredible group of staff to get you the mortgage you want from no matter where you are in the U.S., with the exception of those 4 states. It's the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, now nationwide. 231-332-6505. Offices everywhere. Okay, the idea that you're paying 25% on a credit card is fucking bonkers. Somehow, whatever happened, you managed to ring up some debt. If it's substantial enough, you're getting murdered on the interest rate. Why not pay it all off at once by getting money out of your home on a refi and then paying it all off so you don't have that expensive interest payment, which is added to the principal every month. And you only owe 7% on that money you borrowed, and it's spread out over the life of the loan, so you don't even notice it. That's saving you money. Mario can help. Interest rates have intentionally been raised, both on home loans and credit cards, to slow down people from buying stuff. Slowing down the economy is the big thing. It's a reality we all deal with right now. Call Mario, 231-332-6505. Thank you, TC Paintball. You want to do something fun with your fam or your friends or guys at work, whatever. TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Book an event at this amazing venue in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Outdoor play is awesome. I love the Village. You're peering around corners. It's like Ghost Recon or fucking Call of Duty. No one plays Ghost Recon. Back when I played Ghost Recon, that was the game. More so than Call of Duty. Call of Duty won out, though. Anyway, this is like real life. Okay, you walk in with the group, you pay one fee, and everybody pays one fee. They get all the equipment, the gun, the mask, the paint. You can get upgrades. You can upgrade to a higher level gun that shoots more rapid fire. You can buy more protection so that doesn't sting as much when you get hit by a paintball. TCPaintballGR.com. Love them. All right. Robert Deniro just welcomed his 7th child. This asshole is 79. Can you imagine being a young woman and you're married to a disgustingly old man? We need look no further than our very own radio voice, Linda, who did this. Linda was 19 when she was boning a man as old as Robert De Niro. That happened. 19, so 29, 39, 49, 59, 69. 60-year age difference is what Linda experienced. I might be off by a year or two. Maureen talks about the obvious. When you're 79 years old, you have limited time on the planet. You are making the conscious decision that you are going to guarantee that a very small young child is going to be very, very sad. Who would do this? It sounds horribly mean and selfish. And Maureen said the same thing, that it sounds selfish, unfair. Can you imagine if you were like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8? Hell, any of those very important formative years, and how if your mom or dad kicked the bucket, how much that would have hurt you? He is intentionally going out of his way to do this, knowing full well it will have a destructive effect on whoever this child is that was just born. In my opinion, this is mental abuse. And I think that he should be arrested and charged for abusing a child and abusing that woman who had to sleep with him. You got to be a real kind of lunatic to be like Linda, who did this exact same thing. All right, so I'm a little off on the age. What was the age gap again? You were 25 and he was 52. So I said 60 years. Am I right on that? It was more like 27 years. Yeah, 25 and 52. All right. That would be, because I'm 52. Do any of you have 25-year-old girls? Isn't Amanda's daughter like about 25? Ryan writes, Rafael Deniro is 46. He's the eldest son. Even he is borderline too old to be bothered with raising a kid. Maureen says, I have a 25-year-old son. Kenny says his oldest daughter is 22. Like Jackie, she's 26, I think. I mean, I know Jackie's friends who are the same age. I would never entertain the idea of marrying my daughter. But, I mean, it's such a fucked up thing. I just can't handle it. Like, when I was talking with Brian Johnson from Tell Him Steve Dave, and I go, dude, so is there ever any moments where, because he's 55 and she is 29, 39, 49. So a little bit less than what Linda was doing. I go, do you ever like go over and hang out with her friends? I mean, what's that like? I mean, I wasn't being rude to the guy. Young Adam Schwab says, hot Zane take. I would never marry my daughter. Josh says, I missed some of this. Are we talking about Deniro still or smug beer? Deniro. Chris says, my 52-year-old buddy has a 5-year-old not planned. Oh, yeah. And the other thing is, when you get, okay, like that guy there, the 52-year-old who has a 5-year-old, when you get to be the age that I am, which is that, oh, God, you're beginning the downward slope of enjoying. I mean, when I say downward, I mean like you're just slowing down. You just want to take your time a little more. You're interested in not the, I mean, the idea of the hectic hustle and bustle of taking the kid to fucking this practice and this game and this school fucking function and this, that, and this, when you start to like, for me with 3 kids, and then doing the mom and dad thing, and your life is very, very busy doing all those things, and then suddenly they start to go out on their own, and then less time spent in those things, so you start to pick up more fun things to do. That's what it's supposed to be like, you know. You've put in your time. I think that's why parents kill their kids, frankly, from time to time, is because, you know, you get some soft-headed old fuck who has to do all this shit. And it's like, oh, fuck you. What are you going to do today? I don't know. Sit around? Podcast? Tell everybody to fuck off. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Well, they had flag football at 7. We got to divide and conquer because my wife's got to take the kids for a 8:30 Cub Scout meeting, and then I got to take my daughter to dance. She got to be there at 8:45. But then we got a birthday party at noon. Then we got to get together. We got family pictures at 1. And then, holy shit, we got to do this. Bam, bam, bam. Top story. 5 dead. 52-year-old man spins out, takes out his family. Fuck that. Man. When I was raising kids and we were at that point, I was like, fuck, I wish I could just, when they were in diapers, it was so easy. Just make sure the diaper's clean, prop a bottle, get drunk, and that's it. That's all you got to do. Keep an eye on them. I could go and mow the lawn. I did that. Prop the bottle, mow a third of it, walk back in, peek in, asleep. Awesome. Go back, mow. You can get shit done. Maureen says, prop a bottle. Never. Don't give me that. I did this as 3 kids. I know what the fuck I'm doing. That's like people that say kids need car seats. Shut up. I'm kidding. Kenny says, easy? Stressful sometimes. When they've eaten, been changed, bathed, they're the only ones that slept and still they're crying. Fucking hated that shit. You know what we were the best at when my kids were growing up? Not so much with Madison. Probably because we were getting soft. But the first 2, we were notorious for let them cry it out. Let them cry it out. So you put them in bed and they're, see you later. Shut the door. And they throw the bottle and they're shaking the fucking thing. You can hear it bang. They're having a goddamn temper tantrum, freaking out. You kind of peek in the door. They're not, occasionally they see you or they see the light. They're like, oh, God, thank God he's back. And yeah, fuck you. Shut the door. Ah, yeah, eat shit. And we had rhino skin, Diana and I. Occasionally, they would shit themselves, but we didn't believe them. So we said, fuck it. And then they sleep all night and shit. Wake up and, uh-oh, we fucked that one up. There's like a dry turd in there. Uh-oh. Well, 9 out of 10 isn't bad. Tyler says, I'm in the middle of all this shit now, and it's the worst. LOL. Oh, yeah. Those little assholes. Fuck me. So, is Robert Deniro going to have to do this shit? Can you imagine if this fucking old man, 79's pretty old. If he wasn't filthy rich with obviously probably an entire staff to help raise that child, it would kill him. because of all the things that I just described. He would die. The official tale of the tape on this. This is his 7th kid. He's been twice married and divorced, has 6 other kids. Actually, Ryan said Raphael, the 46-year-old from his first marriage to Diane Abbott, that is the younger of the two. Drenna is 51. His oldest child is 51 years old. That means Drenna has a 1-day-old sibling, half sibling, technically. He shares twins Julian and Aaron, who are 27, with someone named Tukey Smith, whom he never married. He shares Elliot, who's 25, and Helen Grace, 11, with Grace Hightower. I think I'm supposed to know who that is, but I don't. Who he married in 1997 and separated in 2018. He is also a grandfather. He said the news just recently on an interview. Who's the mom of this child? It doesn't really say anything about it. Let me see if I can find this out. Who is the father of Robert De Niro's newest baby? Tiffany Chen. Tiffany Chen Wiki. Guesses on her age. Oh, she's not that young. Well, when you're 79, I thought she was going to be. Okay, I'm confused. Tiffany Chen. I don't think this is the person that I'm looking for. No, there's no, because this must be a different Tiffany Chen. Because this is a 64-year-old lady. You know, she didn't have the kid, and there's no mention of De Niro. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Inside the love life of Robert De Niro, 79, as he welcomes baby number 7, according to page 6. Let me get into this. Be 80 in August. With his much younger girlfriend, Tiffany Chen. I don't think it can possibly be the woman we just saw. Yeah, it's an Asian chick, but it's not the woman that I just showed you. This chick is a total babe. She looks great. All right. So De Niro can pull lots of tail. Here he is with Chen. I'm guessing she's no more. She's like in her 30s. This is just a gross image here of him and her. It looks like a dad escorting his daughter. That's hideous. Here he is with this Grace Hightower, and she's a beauty too. Look at him. Here he is with this bucket hat and with some kid. This is no doubt one of his kids, and the kid's like, Jesus, Dad, you smell old. Oh, fuck, look at him. Look at how old this fucker is. This is hideous. Maureen says, ha, De Niro could pull my tail. I love him. Pull my tail? What the fuck is pull my tail? Is that what you 60-year-olds say when you're horny? Whoa, you could pull my tail. Whoa. I guess Ryan has tracked down, she might be 45 or 46. And says that seems pretty old for a gal to have a kid. Chris says, remember when he was creeping on Jennifer Lawrence right after Hunger Games came out? Maureen said, no, Eric. You said he can pull lots of tail, so he can pull my tail. I guess. This is so weird. Well, anyway, he's an asshole. He's an absolute asshole. What a fucking horrible thing to do to your child. I mean, talk about starting on the wrong foot. This old fuck. I wonder if anybody's actually gotten the nerve to say, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus. All right. More relationship news. One of you, I think it was Who Cut the Cheese, who asked about this yesterday. And I'm going to get into it right now. Tiger Woods, he's under a microscope. He's being accused of terrible things by a lady by the name of Erica Herman. Now, the relationship doesn't exist anymore, but it did exist for a time. And then it ended. And now this Erica Herman is claiming some awful things about Woods. Now, look, this sounds fucking nuts. And you're not going to get any indictment from me about this. It might be everything is as she says it is, but I would need to hear from Woods. And I think we will be able to actually hear because this is going to show up in court. This Erica Herman claims that she was in a relationship with Woods and she lived in his Florida home. And she set up shop there for a long period of time. And she had like her pets there and all of her belongings there. And for whatever she says, the relationship was great. And then Woods leaves town for whatever, maybe a golf outing or something like that. And then she's at home at the mansion. And then Woods says, hey, I want to meet you. Come see me at this event that I'm at. So I'm in whatever state or whatever country. Jump in the plane, and then I'll fly you out. She's like, okay, Tiger, it sounds good. You know, I got somebody to watch the dogs. And so she leaves the mansion and drives to the airport. While that's happening, a team of locksmiths moves in and changes all the locks. She has no idea. She gets to the airport, checks in, and she's sitting there in the terminal. As she's looking up, she sees Tiger's lawyer walking towards her. And then her phone buzzes. And it's Tiger. He says, talk to my lawyer. It's at this point, according to this woman, that she says, there is no trip. This is all just to get you out of the house. You will never, ever see Tiger Woods again. Do not go back to the house. Goodbye. And leaves. Okay. Now that sounds horrible. But I'm going to need to know what precipitated this. This might be the craziest fucking woman on the planet. And then this was the way he chose to get her out of his life. I don't know. Or it could just be he's just a stone cold psychopath. She's a nobody. I think she's like a waitress. But that's not Woods will do that. Woods is not great with women. I think that is one thing we can be sure of. He's a weird dude. I remember back in the old affair days before Elin bashed his face in with the driver. You know, he was having sex with everybody, including that fucking Perkins waitress. Remember that? Who was just, oh, boy, man. I mean, because he was like the hottest women in the world. Some of the prettiest chicks were coming out. Yeah, he screwed me too. Yeah, he screwed me too. And then the Perkins waitress had some glamour shots taken and said, oh, yeah, look at me. I'm hot. And was like, ugh. This woman now is suing Woods. He's accused, Erica Herman accused Tiger of using his lawyer to break up with her after convincing her to show up at the airport for a trip that would never happen, according to a court filing obtained by People magazine. The documents filed by Herman's attorney, Benjamin Hodas, in Florida on Friday allege a scheme concocted by Woods, 47, and his attorney to falsely tell Herman, 38, she was going on a spontaneous trip to the Bahamas on a private plane. Actually, I take it back. Woods was there at the airport. He goes, hey, talk to him. And then left, according to the document. I don't know why he did it that way. There had to be some type of rhyme and reason for it. Per Herman's filing, the golfer's attorney then told her she would never see Tiger again and that she would not be permitted to return to the Florida home she lived in with Woods. Woods' attorney proceeded to insult her before attempting to force her to agree to a non-disclosure and arbitration agreement, the filings alleged. Herman claims she refused to sign the agreement, though the NDA was signed in her name in August of 2017. So I don't know if it doesn't say when this all happened, but there is an NDA that she signed in 2017. I don't know. Maybe she, as part of, at one point he convinced her to do that. Subsequently, Herman claimed Woods and his legal team took away her personal property and pets. That's the saddest part of this. During the dispute, the document also claims that Woods pursued a sexual relationship with Herman while she was an employee at his restaurant. And then allegedly forced her to sign an NDA in order to keep her job. She's got kind of crazy eyes. You ever see somebody that's got crazy eyes? Like, she's got kind of crazy eyes in this pic. And then this one, not so much crazy eyes. But this one, definitely. That's full-on crazy eyes. See, she's not even looking at the right thing. Woods is looking at what you're supposed to be looking at, and she's staring off into space. So based on this image, I'm going Team Woods here. I'm totally kidding. I have no idea. Ryan writes, this is how Smug Beer breaks up with his child wife. Might be the greatest nickname that we've ever created. I don't think I created it, though. Which one of you guys? Did I create that, or did one of you? You guys remember this shit better than I do. According to the lawyer of Herman, Tiger Woods, the internationally renowned athlete and one of the most powerful figures in global sports, decided to pursue a sexual relationship with his employee, then, according to him, forced her to sign an NDA about it or else be fired from her job, Hodas wrote in the filing. When he became disgruntled with their sex, he tricked her into leaving her home, locked her out, took her cash, pets, and personal possessions, and tried to strong-arm her into signing a different NDA. Now he wants to deny her access to the courts and put this case into secret arbitration based on a highly redacted document that he claims is a contract between them. Woods, through his attorney, has disputed the claims. On Tuesday, his lawyer, J.B. Murray, appeared in court and questioned Herman's attempts to dissolve her NDA. The judge said she would give her decision in writing, but has not specified when. So, she wants that NDA dissolved so she can sing like a bird. Why do they go for a second NDA when you already had one? In March 2023, it was publicly revealed that the pair had split when Herman filed a separate lawsuit against Woods, asking to be removed from the earlier NDA she signed in August of 17. Herman cited the Speak Out Act, which allows NDAs to be nullified in cases of sexual assault or harassment. Woods has denied the harassment claim, saying Herman was a jilted ex-girlfriend. A lot of people say that's me. According to the complaint, Herman says she had a long-term relationship with Tiger, both professional and personal. Herman, a former restaurant manager, was first romantically linked to Woods when she was pictured alongside him at the President's Cup in New Jersey in September of 2017. Over the course of the years, Herman has been constant at the course whenever Woods is competing. However, they've been very private over the years. A notable difference from Woods' previous relationship with Lindsey Vonn and his very public marriage and divorce from Elin Nordegren, who, by the way, as she ages, becomes more attractive. Let's see. 8. Elin Nordegren now. Maybe not. No, I think it's just a bad picture, Oh, yeah, she looks fantastic. Son of a bitch, is she a babe? Totally cute. Totally cute. Those Europeans, man, they don't age. Here she is in the baseball hat. Is there anything cuter than chicken baseball hat? How about that? Here she is with the new love of her life. If you're the new love, if you're the lucky guy who gets Elin Nordegren after the bar has been set so low by Woods, you've just been humiliated by this scumbag. She regroups, and then she meets Mr. Right. Can you imagine the bliss that they will have if he just is the type? He's the type of, like, she picked the right guy who's a good dude, wants to spend time with her, takes care of her, respects the marriage, treats her well, treats the kids great, nice guy. Can you imagine the amount of hardcore anal you would get from her because she's just happy that she's not with a piece of shit? Looks like some football player. I don't know. Oh, my God, is she a babe? That's enough. Settle down, Eric. Ryan says, I just don't want hardcore anal under any circumstance. Well, I don't either, but he may. For some guys, that's what they're into. I got into a discussion with, who was it? My old boss. I don't know. I forget the context of the discussion. His name is Phil, my old boss at the Griffins. And we got into a discussion, and he pointed out, I think I made a joke about it. And I said, yeah, by the way, I make a lot of jokes about that, but I have no desire to do any of that, which I've said to you guys. And he goes, me too. I don't want anything to do with that. And I go, do you ever know anybody who has? Because I don't know anyone who, no one's offered that up. And I'm kind of happy with that. So if any of you listening right now are into that, do not tell me, because I will think differently of you. I will think of you as a psychopath. I think Amanda has hinted around that she has, but let's keep that to ourselves. But I said to Phil, I go, do you know anybody who has? Because I don't. He goes, yeah, I know one guy. And he goes, I said, well, what did he tell you? He goes, well, he described it to me, and he had a weird voice when he said it. Because this is Phil talking. So I asked him, well, what was that like? And the guy goes, gritty. Gritty? All right. Out of all the words that sound terribly unappealing, gritty? Like sandpaper gritty? And what in that region would be full of grit? They have to be talking about if the person ate shredded wheat the day before. You know? It's fucking horrible. And I want you all to know, if you're all if you have a significant other that's considering this and you're considering going down that road, it is not like the videos you watch. Those people who do that, not only do they fast for a day, they take diuretics so that all of that material is gone, and then they enema so that it is actually a clean track. If you are doing it and you're going to be on the business end of a BK broiler, Kenny says, how do you know all that? Because I'm smart. All right. No. On one of your, you're going to thrust in, and on the out, there's going to be debris on your actual penis. Say no to that. We need to go back to the old days where this was like illegal. It's a health hazard. Fuck me. Okay. I see Donut Dan is here. And that's good. Because the Dirty Donut Race is on its way. That is Michigan's premier gravel bike race, Saturday, June 3rd, Martin, Michigan. Oh, my God. Number one rated by all of the bikers in Michigan. You thought Iceman was good? No way. The Dirty Donut is the number one gravel race in Michigan and the surrounding states. Go to dirtydonutrace.com and sign up for the 10, 21, 41, or 61-mile races. 10 would be pushing the limits for your old pal EZ. My saddle will get sore. Even if you don't have any experience, I know you can muster 10 miles on a bike. While you're out there at the donut stop, for every donut you eat, you get 5 minutes off of your time. It's a party afterwards. Dan puts on a great race, and you should check it out, man. Get out of your comfort zone and get out and ride. Maybe you don't. Pass it along to someone who does. June 3rd, Martin, Michigan, dirtydonutrace.com. Maureen says, way to go, Donut Dan. My son is a gravel racer, but hasn't done your race yet. You know what to do. In fact, Maureen, you tell him to use Zane23 when he's checking out, and he's going to save $10. Thank you, Dan, for sponsoring the show. dirtydonutrace.com. Linda says, even I can do 10 miles on a bike, and I can do a man 50 years older than me. All right. Dan says we have almost 700 signed up at the moment. That's unbelievable. Now, last time I talked to you, you were about 525. What is the drop dead number Are you capping it at about, didn't you say 750 maybe? What are we looking at there, Dan? By the way, Dan has lived some life. Dan, former cop, got out of the game. Former race car driver. Used to race at Berlin and other tracks. He has done a lot of things in his life. And now just kind of living his best life. And what he wanted to do was to organize a race. That is not an easy task. There are a lot of logistics to putting one of these events together. And so this is something fun for people to do. He sells it. You see, he's got a Consumers Credit Union, who, by the way, I have my car loan through them. Look at this. He's got the insurance dude. He's got the realtor. I forgot how to say that. Beist Electric, and Sealy Auto Group. He has sold the fuck out of this thing. Well done, Dan. No easy task. These are the winners. Look at these two. They blend right in with the sign. That's incredible. Look at how much fun they're having. This is a tandem. That looks like a cyclocross bike. Your old pal EZ used to do cyclocross. That's fun. Oh, my God. You're riding up hills and shit and on gravel on this marked out course, and then there's an obstacle. You got to get off the bike, put the bike on your shoulder, and climb over the obstacle. Oh, my God. Remember when I saw some dude snap his leg in half? I remember being nauseous as I saw the bone popping out of the skin at the race. It's terrible. Realtor. It's Realtor. I once said realtor, and the person corrected me and was very pissed off for some reason. Kuipers, have you ever flipped over your handlebars? Oh, yeah. I absolutely did that. I hit a pothole on a bike ride. And, man, that was fucked. My helmet, because my head hit the ground, the helmet was broken. That would have been my head. My son's friend died from an accident like that. So sad. Did he have a helmet on? That's key. Hopefully, that's completely preventable. Terrible. All right. I don't want to end the show on that type of note. Go sign up for Dan's race. Yes, he did have a helmet on. Oh, look. All right. Good luck, Dan. Keep it going. Keep it going. Thank you to Berlin Raceway. You mentioned Dan used to race there. Berlin Raceway for Mother's Day. Now, I've bragged about how affordable this is. You know, mom and dad get in for $14, and then all the kids 15 and under get free despite their muffs. This weekend, it's a Mother's Day celebration on Saturday. So literally only dad has to pay. $14 a pop. Now, I don't know if you have to prove you're a mom at the gate. I think it's just kind of like understood. They can always tell who a mom is. Moms have certain looks. BerlinRaceway.com. Buy them in advance. $14 online. $17 at the door. Mom's free. Kids 15 and under free. And then, of course, parking free. You can bring a cooler full of food. 12 by 8 cooler. So a small one, but still. Packet full of food. You can both bring coolers. No glass, no alcohol at BerlinRaceway.com. I'm going to be seeing you coming up on June 8th. I don't want to get into it now, but yes. Coming up, I've got 4 or 5 events I will be at that I want you to join me. BerlinRaceway.com. Thank you as well to A&E Heating and Cooling, the immortal Joe Martinez and his crew at A&E 616-516-8579. A&E Heating and Cooling. Get that thing tuned up. The air conditioner tuned up for this coming cooling season at A&E Heating and Cooling. My God, the absolute best. Schedule your tune-up today at 616-516-8579. Okay, now, Patreon coming up. I'm going to talk about some little fucker, some stupid idiot at a local school where I live who wrote the N-word on the school's website. He hacked it or some shit. I don't know. What a prank. Fuck me. This is incredible. He hacked the school website and put N-word all over it. That's a legendary maneuver when it comes to pranks. The problem is, because it's the N-word, they're probably going to drag this kid into the town square and shoot him in the face. Some young girl, another story, locally. At babysitting class, they taught her CPR. I'm never going to use that, but she used it, but not on a baby. She used it on someone who's about as old as Robert Deniro. Dolly Parton is in the news, who, by the way, let me just show you what she looks like in this picture. Now, she's all dolled up, but she looks great. All right. Now, I don't know, man. Dolled up, airbrush. I don't know. She's in the news. I'll explain why. Are you familiar with Hezbollah? That little fucking asshole Russian fuck? He's in the news. And more on Chris's story that he couldn't wait to tell us about the kid, the 8-year-old, the Porcupine Mountains, who was rescued. That's all on the Patreon. To get it, you got to sign up. Don't be a dick. Sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. All right, so it's between Trump and Deniro for asshole of the day. Yesterday it was Bob Huggins, who I don't think anything happened to that guy for the whole gay Catholics thing. I got a vote for Trump from Sam the Jew. I got a Deniro vote. Yeah, I mean, Deniro having a baby as compared to Donald Trump, who stuck his fingers into some woman against her will. Proven in civil court. Trump is the asshole of the day. All right. George Santos got arrested. I saw that. That would have made the cut, but I had bigger fish to fry today. All right. So we have 3 free Fear Bunker North podcasts in the books. That concludes the free podcasting at Fear Bunker North. One more to go, the Patreon. I think we've done pretty damn well considering the fucking terrible start that we had with O'Neill hightailing it out of here. Or so I thought. So I like the idea. I'm coming around to the thought that he was hiding under the trailer. Thank you. Linda is the one who... You might be right on that. You may be right. I may be crazy. Oh, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. I'm going to send you off to raid a show. I don't even know who to raid. I don't know. I don't watch anything on Twitch. I don't pay attention to any other show. So I don't know. All I know is Fail Army and Riff Tracks. And occasionally Plain John or whatever his name is. I don't even know what his show is about. Is it a comedy show, or is he like one of these people that just is outraged by everything, talking about politics? I think he's a nice guy. I don't know if he has an aggressive bone in his body. But those are like the only ones I even know. Tyler says just pick a random gamer. Yeah, I will. Finance. Sam says he talks about finance and politics. Is it comedic or is it? I mean, what's good about it? It can't. Is it funny? To me, yeah. Sam says it's not funny. If a show isn't funny, it better be so fucking insightful and interesting. You know what I mean? Sam says he learns a lot listening to a show. What is his expertise? What type of pedigree does he have to give him, that type, for you to give him that type of endorsement? I'm curious. I mean, is he like a finance guy? Does he have a master's of whatever? All right. This guy's playing Fortnite, and one person is watching it. I am going to raid, and then the kid will probably jizz. Because no one's ever watched this kid. He's going to think this is his big break. He's getting discovered, Oh, my God, 15 people are here. Here we go.
Surgeons keep our hearts beating. They do the amazing, help save lives, and so can you. Your CSL plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines that can give Grandpa the chance for his heart to swell when he meets his new grandson, or give a bride the chance for her heart to skip a beat on her wedding day. Every plasma donation helps more than you know. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate today at your local CSL Plasma Center and be rewarded for your generosity.